Today we are setting out on an ambitious journey, a journey into the very foundation of one particular worldview, the Christian worldview. To do this, we'll be guided by the awe-inspiring narrative of the Bible, a narrative that can be summarized in 4 distinct yet interconnected stages: creation, fall, redemption, and consummation. Without further ado, let's dive into this rich tapestry of the human experience. Our narrative begins with creation. In the opening lines of the book of Genesis, we encounter a God who isn't just powerful, but purposeful. A God who crafts the cosmos not out of necessity or whim, but with intentionality and a great deal of care. The world in its original untouched state was deemed good by God. This affirms its inherent value and perfection in the eyes of its creator. But the creation story doesn't stop with the cosmos. It narrows down, zeroes in on us, on humans. We were sculpted by God's hands, shaped in His image and likeness. This is an incredibly profound word picture, one that reverberates through the corridors of time to speak to us today. Being made in the image of God signifies our unique place within creation. It underscores our cognitive capacities, mirroring God's ability to reason, to feel, to communicate, and to make moral judgments. But it also speaks of our authority and responsibility, our stewardship over the natural world. We were made to be God's representatives on earth, a role that confers both honor and obligation. But then we arrive at the fall. This chapter of the narrative casts a long, dark shadow over humanity's unique role and relationship with God. It's a story of disobedience, of collective failure, of our turning away from God. Here we learn about the insidious nature of sin, the way it has wormed its way into the human race and instigated a devastating cascade of effects. The fall presents us in a state of alienation, distanced from our Creator, from our neighbors, and from the very world of nature we were intended to steward. This fracture, this breach of relationship, is a powerful component of the Christian worldview. It's a stark reality we grapple with every day, a reality that influences our understanding of human nature and the need for God's grace. Yet the story doesn't end there. In the face of our brokenness, we find redemption. This stage of the narrative uncovers the unfathomable depth of God's love for us, His unyielding, relentless quest to reconcile us back to Himself. It's in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ that we witness God's heart laid bare, His compassion and mercy fully revealed. Redemption teaches us that life's true meaning isn't found in self-centered ambitions or even the good things we can pursue in life. Instead, it's found in aligning ourselves with God's will, in seeking His kingdom first. It's about reconciliation with the divine, about living in harmony with God's design and purpose for us. It's about recognizing that our Creator wants to make us His children, where we know ourselves to be loved and called to reflect our good Father's love in the world. And finally, we reach consummation, the ultimate goal of creation. It's here that we catch a glimpse of God's grand plan, a plan that reaches beyond the present, beyond our struggles and victories, to a future that's more glorious than we could ever imagine. This stage is about restoration, about bringing beauty up from the ashes of our fallen world. It's a vision of the world restored and perfected, where justice reigns and sorrow is no more. But this isn't a far-off dream or an optimistic fairy tale. It's a solid, unwavering promise from Jesus Christ Himself, who gave His life to make it a reality. Trusting in this future, this promised consummation, forms a key component of the Christian worldview. It influences how we live in the present, how we treat others, how we care for God's creation, and how we face suffering and loss. Consummation gives us hope. It assures us that our labor is not in vain, that our struggles have meaning, and that our God is working all things together for the good of those who love Him. It reminds us that we are part of something bigger, something beautiful, something eternal. And the one who gave His life for us stands, risen again from the dead, and waiting until that time when He will say, "Behold, I am making all things new." We've only just skimmed the surface of these profound truths. This has been only a roadmap of each of these stages. It would take a lot more time to explore their intricacies and implications, and how they each contribute to our understanding of ourselves, our world, and the God of the Bible. But if you give it that time, I don't think you'll be sorry you explored the Christian worldview.